So there's been a lot of talk about North versus South All-Star game in the Premier League. We've heard a lot of people kind of unhappy about the idea, but it got me thinking that maybe the idea could work better in the Women's Super League in the WSL. So Sophie and I are here today to discuss the teams that we think would make the North and South All-Star teams in the WSL. And we've split it up looking at North and South. We've got City, United, Liverpool, Villa, and Everton and Leicester in the North. And then we've got Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, Reading, Brighton, and West Ham making up the South teams. So we set ourselves a few rules, only allowed 2 players per team, which has been quite difficult. But before we get into that, Sophie, tell me a little bit what you would think about seeing a WSL All-Star game happen.
I think it's hard, especially for the English people, sort of to get through a week without sort of starting up some kind of North-South divide talk and, oh, this, no, the North's better, you don't get this or this and that. Yeah, I think English people would just lap it up regardless.
All right, so we're going to break down our teams now. I've chosen the northern team, which I think might have been an easier selection. We'll see how this goes. But I'll start with my goalkeeper. I've gone for Hannah Hampton from Aston Villa. And I know that there are some omissions in this position here, but I think she's proved herself quite a bit recently. She's been a strong force for Villa at the start of the season, and obviously been in the England squad before as well. So we've gone with Hannah Hampton, and I've got to give shout outs to Mary Earps and Ellie Roebuck, but I had some tough choices to make in other positions on the field, unfortunately. Defenders, I've gone with a bit of a cheat code for my right back. I've gone with Rachel Daly from Aston Villa. Now I know she doesn't necessarily play right back, and she's a striker for Villa, and she's left back for England, but I think she's a cheat code. I think she's the most versatile player in the WSL. So I've put Rachel Daly as my right back. And then I've got Katrine Vehe from Everton. She's a Danish defender, very strong, great deliveries, great creativity at the back. And I think she'll pair well with Niamh Fahey from Liverpool, the Liverpool captain, who's just been, again, another force to be reckoned with at the start of the season. And finally, I've rounded it out with Leila Wahabi from Manchester City, arguably one of the best left backs, full backs in the WSL and in women's football as well. Just great speed, great pace, great attacking power. So that's what I've gone with for my defensive core, let's say. But yeah, some hard decisions.
It's not a bad defensive core, but so I've gone with Jackie Burns for my goalkeeper. So Northern Ireland's number 1. I think she's a goalkeeper with a great potential. And again, it was hard to be like a Manuela Zinsberger, but then I'm looking at every other player in the Arsenal squad and thinking, right, okay, I like Jackie Burns. She's going to go. We've got a back 3, which I think a lot of people end up with when they just want more attackers on the pitch, which is why I'd be a terrible coach. But I've got a back 3 of Magda Eriksson, Victoria Williams, and Gemma Evans. And I think you've got sort of three leaders in the team as well at the back there. 3 who are capable of stepping up into midfield if needed as well. Again, I think that's a good, strong defensive core.
So you're missing Leah Williamson, though.
There's a lot of Arsenal players I'd want in my team. Yeah, I mean, with an Arsenal player in midfield. So,
yeah, understandable. A tough decision, but yeah, definitely one of the harder choices I would say that you probably had to deal with there. Let's look at the midfield. So I have 3 midfielders in my team. We've got Izzy Christensen from Everton, very experienced player, probably my most experienced player in the midfield there. I do have to say I've gone for a very attacking midfield. I'm lacking in the defensive mid area. I've got Ella Toone as well, Manchester United. Not much I really need to say about Ella Toone. She's been absolutely brilliant for England and for Man United. There's no way she doesn't make the squad for me. And then I've picked Shannon O'Brien from Leicester, who again is a much more attacking midfielder, sometimes plays up front as well. Very versatile and has brought star power to Leicester's squad this year to fill out my midfield.
You know, I like that you got with O'Brien there because I think she's been one of Leicester's best players. And that's usually your noggin. All those great teams in that your midfield.
Yep, lots to choose for. I know there's some omissions. We're missing people like Lauren Hemp as well, but there's so many players to choose from, and as you'll see, some other players I couldn't miss out in my forwards either.
Yeah, I know that feeling. So I've gone with a midfield 5. So for my wing backs, there's a little bit of liberty taken here. I've got Lisa Evans and Ashley Neville. I think we're talking about Daly's versatility. I think Lisa Evans can go anywhere out wide, and she just delivers for you. Ashley Neville, just massively underrated for Spurs, just does the job week in, week out, has been scoring bangers as well, which helps. My triangle midfield, I think, is nice and fluid, so everyone can kind of drop back or move forward if needed. And I've got a little Kit Graham, which is a little bit of a cheat as well because she's currently injured. But I really like Kit Graham. I think what she adds to the midfield is massive. And I've also gone with Hanoka Hayashi, one of Aston Villa's West Ham's new signings. Sorry, claret and blue. And I've really liked what I've seen of Hayashi so far. I think defensively and offensively, she's just going to fill in. So that's what the idea of that midfield three.
Not much to disagree with you on that one, to be honest. I'm also a Kit Graham fan. Think she's been quite impressive, and hopefully she'll be back from her injury soon. Moving on to the forwards, I've gone for 2 forwards and a striker. So I've got Chloe Kelly, which I don't think I need to explain too much. Just iconic at this point and brilliant player for City and for England. We got Alicia Russo from Manchester United, also a very good attacking player, lots of speed. She scored 10 goals in 15 appearances for England. So got to have her up in the front as well. And then finishing it off with Katie Stengel from Liverpool, who's, again, had a great start to the season, been a great finisher up front for Liverpool, and I think brings some experience as well into my squad. That we've got a lot of young attacking players, and I think Katie Stengel helps round that out just a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with attack. Excuse me. This got like Alessia Russo in it. Like, yeah, okay, I'll give you that. But I think my top two are a little bit better though. I think my top two have some goals in them. Excuse me. I also think you probably guessed them by now that I've got Viviana Miedema and Sam Kerr up top. And yeah, good luck to your defense.
Yeah, I think that, to be fair, looking at my defense and your attackers, that they would absolutely need it against that. But I do think that maybe
it was tough.
Yeah, it is tough. It is tough. I mean, what are you supposed to do when the talent in the WSL right now is as good as it is? I think that's just kind of speaks to how much the WSL has grown and what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and I find it really interesting that you've kind of lent on the England players as well, who did so well over the summer. Especially if you're just talking about, you want to put out not just a great product on the pitch, but you want to be able to lure in the local fans as well. Like having the option of seeing so many England players on the pitch at the same time as well, I think it's smart marketing. So maybe smart managing as well, if from that point. And yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm more of a kit man than that, but yeah.
No, you wouldn't want to be the kit person, absolutely not. But I completely agree. I mean, I think that there's a lot of fans who've just watched the Euros and really watched the Lionesses for the first time, and will now be following their favorite players in the WSL, maybe even more so than following a club. And so to be able to put them on an all-star pitch and bring that opportunity for fans to watch them again in a different format, I think could work quite well. All right, let's finish off with managers. I don't know if you had a chance to pick a manager, but I've gone with Carla Ward from Aston Villa. I think that she's absolutely transformed the club in the last 2 seasons since she's taken over. And I think she'd be brilliant at bringing together a group of players who haven't necessarily played together as much, and building some chemistry for an event of this kind.
I gave this some thought, but I didn't give this the most thought. I think I would end up going with Rhiannon Skinner from Spurs. Just because I think that if you're throwing 11 players together at once, I think she's probably slightly better at working out some of those connections. Whereas I look at sort of someone like Emma Hayes, and I think she's got other strengths in coaching. Same for like Jonas Edeval, that takes time, but I think Skinner would get that team set and get them going.
Yeah, I mean, you've gone with the same thinking that I've gone with for Carla Ward, to be honest, a manager who's going to be able to bring together a group of players who are relatively new to each other. Whereas Emma Hayes has had a lot of years to build her squad with Chelsea. That being said, I don't think there's any way with the star power that Emma Hayes brings in that you don't choose her. I mean, people would want to watch her on the touchline, I think, in that game as well.
I'd have her doing commentary. There you go.
That's brilliant. That would work perfectly. We'll get her in.
Like over the tannoy.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're doing this, you're gonna need everything for when your TV production rolls in. So you're gonna need an artist, and that is where you'd have Emma.
Absolutely, that's where you'd have Emma, and you'd bring in kind of all of the bells and whistles for this game. I think it could be quite a good spectacle.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.